after 14 years in the game, I'm here to tell you that eating plant-based is where it's at, y'all. It don't have to be boring. We don't just eat tomatoes and lettuce. Honey child, let me tell you, I'm going to give you guys some ideas of what you can eat, both raw and cooked, if you're interested in eating plant-based, but just don't know what to eat. So stay tuned, take notes, get ready. We're about to go in. Take off. Anyway, so here's an example of something you can get like at a juicery. An acai bowl, delicious, refreshing goodness. And then there's always nice cream. I love making my nice cream. I use my food processor. I always use frozen bananas as a base. And then I might add different types of fruits, or I might just add some almond butter to the frozen bananas and then put some toppings. This was one of my favorites, just frozen bananas and peanut butter. Then there's always smoothies. There's all different types of smoothies you can make. This was just a basic milkshake smoothie, as I call it, just frozen bananas and almond milk and some type of sweetener, probably a little bit of stevia. There's so many different recipes you can make. Fruit is always a go-to. Come on, people. We always can go to fruit. If nothing else happens for us, we can always go to fruit, okay? Any and all fruit. All of it. Even light-skinned seed watermelon. Okay, we're getting the idea here. Fruit. Then there's always salads. Okay, there's so many different types of salads you could throw in. Arugula, you could do romaine, kale, whatever, and then add like tomatoes and carrots and cucumbers and olives and make your own dressing like I like to do with my tahini. My favorite is 2 tablespoons of tahini, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, some nutritional yeast, water, and then any seasonings. Here's a delicious smoothie I just made the other day. If you go to my shorts on YouTube, you can read the description for the delicious recipe. And this was my nice cream I made with frozen bananas as a base and frozen dragon fruit from Whole Foods. It was so delish. And this was another delicious nice cream I made with frozen bananas and then strawberries. I like to add a tablespoon of almond butter or peanut butter and then add whatever topping. I like to make different ones, as you can see. This one was a blueberry nice cream, added some cacao on top. This one was another blueberry nice cream with like hemp seeds and bananas and whatnot. And then again, going back to fruit, if anything, you can always have fruit. Fruit, when it's ripe, is not only delicious, but it's very good with all the minerals, most of the minerals and vitamins. It's refreshing. It's something I go to. Sometimes I don't want to eat food. Sometimes I just go to eating fruit to satisfy me. Oh, here goes another nice cream. Just the point is that you can make so many different ice creams, but always make sure you have your frozen bananas as the base because that's what's going to make it creamy. You can experiment with things like zoodles by spiralizing your zucchini and making like a little pesto dish, if you will. Adding things like tomatoes and olives and oh my goodness, this was good. I got the pesto from Trader Joe's. Again, going back to fruit. You guys getting it? The point is, it's easy, guys. Bruh, this was something I got on my 50th birthday weekend at a restaurant called Sun Cafe in LA. This was this kale salad. Oh my goodness. Chow, chow, chow. Yum. You can make lettuce wraps. You can get you a collard green, cut up your veggies and non-sweet fruits, whatever you want. Throw it on there. Maybe add some avocado and then add the other stuff in there and then make you a delicious sauce. I made a tahini sauce, my sweet tahini sauce, and honey. That was bomb.com. Again, salads are always a go-to. This one had arugula, cucumbers, bell peppers, tomatoes, red onion. These are like my main ingredients I use in a salad, to be honest with you. I threw an olive in there, a green olive, and then I made a 3-ingredient tahini dressing. Just maple syrup, mustard, and tahini, and that was it, and water. This time I added, at that time I added some brown rice to it just to make it a little bit more satiating. It was good. Okay, then we go to the cooked meals. Easy things. Beans with bell peppers and onions. Cabbage over rice. Add some seasonings. Going back to the salads again. that was a mistake. That should have been in the beginning with the raw foods. Anyway, you can make wraps. This one was, I don't eat Beyond Meat a lot, but I happen to, maybe about 5 times a year or so. I got some lettuce wraps from Sprouts, and I just put like some Beyond Meat in there and rice, a little bit of bitchin sauce, the chipotle flavor, and that was it. And and salsa. And let me tell you, okay, these things came out hecka good. And it was so simple. This is my favorite thing I love to make. This has bell peppers, onions, black beans, chickpeas, mushrooms, marinara, and I throw it over some brown rice. I haven't had this in a while because I've been doing mostly raw, but when I'm having fully cooked meals, that might be something I have. Or sometimes you just throw some vegetables in the pot. This was zucchini, bell peppers and onions, and squash, and then you just throw it over brown rice. Add maybe some delicious sauce or something and some seasonings, and it's so easy, you guys. It all boils down to beans, rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds. Okay? Those are the staples of a vegan diet. Then sometimes you got to treat yourself, honey. This was a strawberry cheesecake I got in LA at the Sun Cafe. Chow, chow, chow. It didn't make you slap somebody. It was so doggone good. Now, this is when I'm being a little naughty. This was also my birthday weekend. I got some buffalo cauliflower. Now, this bowl was pretty healthy. It was just like a breakfast bowl with all kind of goodness in it. Oh, my goodness. You know, you can order salads when you go to restaurants. If they don't have anything you can really enjoy, you can always go with a salad. It might not always be this beautiful, but they always have salad. You can customize it and tell them what you want on it. You know, this is a time where I might go out and I might have something that's not so whole food. Like, well, actually it was kind of whole food. It's just vegetables on bread, but that was my so-called pizza. One time I went to a restaurant and I got some empanadas. Now this is this kind of stuff. These were some mushroom tacos. These are the things you can order at restaurants. This is not the kind of stuff, the last few things you just saw are not things I like to eat on a daily basis, because this will make me gain a couple pounds from all the sodium and stuff. This is, you know, those occasional things when you go out to restaurants with people, like something like this as well. Spring rolls, these were delicious. Again, this kind of food will make me gain a pound or 2 in one night just because of all the sodium. Stir-fried rice, you know, all kind of things. There's so many things out there. I find that cultural restaurants are the best places to go for plant-based eaters. Or you can keep it simple. Get you some purple sweet potatoes and make some vegetables, okay? You know, throw in a protein if you like, you know, some air-fried tofu or something. You know, this was Brussels sprouts, chickpeas, bell peppers, onions over rice with some delicious, like, soyaki sauce from Trader Joe's. You can make pasta. This is not so whole food like because of the pasta, but it, you know, it's better than eating a cow. Nah. They have this pasta that's made of chickpeas. I think I got that at Trader Joe's at the time, and it has a lot of protein in it. You can make it with that, or you can find some gluten-free pasta, or it doesn't have to be gluten-free if you want to eat gluten. I just try to eat a 95% gluten-free diet. But then again, the things, you know, there's so many things you can make that are so easy and simple. Again, beans, rice, potato, sweet potato, nuts and seeds, vegetables and fruit. Okay, beans, rice, and a vegetable. That's my go-to when I'm eating cooked meals, which I don't do a lot. You can make some, I know this looks very not so pretty, but this is some black eyed peas and brown rice with what's that called, sriracha on top, and then some broccoli with nutritional yeast on top. That was a meal. This was a long time ago, but that's a meal you could do. You know, my husband throws down on those black eyed peas and rice. I tell you, it doesn't look all that pretty, but honey, let me tell you, again, keep it simple. Potatoes and a vegetable. That's like kale and, oh, I don't remember where I got that from, but those vegetables were hecka good. You can also just throw in some, you know, makes you some smashed potatoes, broccoli, tofu, whatever. It's so easy, you guys. There's so many wonderful things you can eat eating a fully plant-based diet. Don't let people tell you otherwise. We do not just eat tomatoes and, you know, salads. You know, there's so many things to eat out there. You do want to focus on primarily whole foods, okay? And then let the processed stuff and the junk food be minimal. I have a balanced way of living. Right now I've been eating no junk food because I was on a challenge, and we're doing an extra 7 days. But when I'm not doing challenges, I do allow myself to have junk food occasionally and processed things, but it's very minimal. I try to focus on whole foods because that's when I feel my best. And so these are just some ideas, both raw, cooked, and things you might get at a restaurant or, things like that. And don't let me include all the other junk food that you can actually get at stores and stuff. We're not going to bring up all the other stuff that they have out there that's vegan. And again, vegan does not mean healthy. It just means animal free. We want to focus on eating plant-based, which is food that comes from plants, and then make all the other stuff be minimal. I've been eating this way for 14 years. I absolutely love it. I don't ever see myself going back. And I eat a very varied, I don't know what I'm trying to say, a bountiful diet, including everything. And I eat mostly raw or high raw, and then, occasional cooked foods and stuff. But I love eating raw because it makes me feel so good. And I just feel good in my body when I'm eating clean and whole foods. So I hope this was helpful to get some ideas. Remember, when you go to restaurants, try to go to cultural restaurants, Mexican, Italian, Ethiopian, Japanese, Thai, because they always have fun, yummy, plant-based options versus going to a steakhouse or an American restaurant where you could just get French fries and a salad. You know what I mean? I mean, it might be fun, but let's just keep it real. Most restaurants don't have bomb dressings, and dressings will make or break your meal. So either try to go to cultural restaurants or bring your own salad dressing, at least if you go to regular restaurants, because 9 times out of 10 their dressings are whack. Or if they don't have dressings you like, you can always just ask them for avocado and a lemon. Smash the avocado on there, squeeze the lemon juice, mix it up, add some black pepper, and there you go. There's your dressing. You can always make it work no matter where you go. You can make it work. Sometimes it might not be fun food to eat, but you can always have something to eat no matter where you go. So anyway, let me know if this was helpful. You guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to give you some ideas of things you can eat. But yeah, I would say my go-tos, I'm like big on smoothies, nice cream, fruit, vegetables, salads, nuts and seeds, and then my occasional cooked foods like beans, rice, and a vegetable, or stir-fried vegetables over rice with a little bit of chickpeas or whatever. You guys saw some of the examples. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.